Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got game 4 of this 1961 World Series in Milwaukee County Stadium. The Braves in a must-win situation. The Yankees lead this World Series 3-0. Can the Braves win game 3 and force a game 5 in Milwaukee, or the Yankees get the brooms out and sweep the Braves away? Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams in game number 4 of an elimination game. Leading off, playing second base for the New York Yankees, Bobby Richardson. Batting second, playing shortstop, Tony Kubek. Batting third, playing right field, Roger Maris. Batting fourth, playing center field, is Mickey Mantle. Batting fifth, playing first base, is Bill Skowron. Batting sixth, playing left field, is Yogi Berra. Batting seventh, the man behind the plate, Elston Howard. Batting eighth, playing third base, is Clint Boyer. And on the mound, batting ninth, the chairman of the board, Whitey Ford. Let's take a look at the Milwaukee Braves starting lineup for this must-win game. Leading off for the Milwaukee Braves, playing right field, is Lee May. Batting second and playing second is Frank Boland. Batting third and playing third is Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth and playing center field today is Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing first base, is Joe Adcock. And the Braves have made a change in their lineup. They moved Joe Torre, who's having a good World Series, hit into some tough luck in game number 3, but's hitting the ball well. They moved him up to sixth. He'll be behind the plate. Frank Thomas, who's struggling in this World Series, they dropped him down to seventh. He'll be playing left field. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. And game number 1 starter, the ace of the staff, trying to keep the Yankees from sweeping them. Batting ninth, Warren Spahn. Let's go down here to Milwaukee County Stadium and see if the Braves can extend this World Series to game number 5. Yes, Ken Castro is in the park. He must be in the front row. Warren Spahn, like I said, is on the mound. This is his second appearance in the World Series. He pitched 6 innings. He gave up 5 runs in that first game. He's 0-1. And on the season, he pitched in 34 games started, had a 2.25 ERA. He was 21-6. He won the Cy Young, and he was the ERA leader in the National League. Let's see if he can repeat that type of performance today and get the Braves their first win. First batter he'll be facing is Bobby Richardson. Hey, Doug. He's batting 200 here in the World Series. He batted 246 with 3 home runs and 63 RBIs in the regular season. And here's the first pitch to Bobby. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Lee May to start this game. 1 up and 1 down for the Yanks. And here comes Mr. Tony Kubek. And Tony's batting 214 in this World Series. He's 3 for 14. And in the regular season, he batted 274. He had 7 home runs and 61 RBIs. Can he start something here for the Yanks? As Carlos joins us. Here's the windup in the pitch. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. It looks like Spahn's got his good stuff, at least here in the beginning. So 2 up and 2 down. Here's Roger Maris having a fine World Series and a great season. He batting 333. He's 4 for 12 with a home run and 2 RBIs in this World Series. He batted 267 in the regular season, 74 home runs and 147 RBIs. Can Roger get something started here in the first? And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts. Spahn is wheeling and dealing, folks. We go to the bottom of the first. Yankees, nothing. May, Boland, and Matthews due up here against the chairman of the board, Whitey Ford. This is his second appearance in the World Series. He went the distance in the first game, gave up 3 runs. He's 1-0. And in the regular season, Whitey started 39 games, had a 2.95 ERA. He led the American League and Major Leagues with 23 wins, 8 losses. First batter he'll be facing is Lee May. Lee May's having a nice World Series. He's batting 273. He's 3 for 11. He batted 230 in the regular season, 16 home runs, 40 RBIs. Can he get something started here for the Braves? They need to get in front. They can't afford to keep falling behind these big Yankee bats. They have not had the lead in any of these games yet. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. And Bobby Richardson calls for it. Makes the catch for out number 1. And that brings up Frank Boland. He is struggling here in the World Series. He's only batting a .67. He's 2 for 12. Frank had an excellent season. He batted 288 and got on base for the Big Boppers a lot during the regular season. He was on base 3 times in game number 3, which helped the Braves score those 6 runs. Let's see if he can do it here today. He's got 18 home runs and 81 RBIs during the regular season. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Quebec. He's going to fire over to first for out number 2. And that brings up Eddie Matthews. And he is having an awesome World Series, batting .545, folks. 6 hits and 11 at-bats, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. He batted .301 in the regular season, 37 home runs, and 121 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Matthews. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's Whitey's first strikeout. Looks like at the beginning, at least, it's a pitching duel. We go to the top of the second. It's 0-0. You got Mano, Scourin, and Barrett to face Spahn. Mick's not having a great World Series. He's 0 for 7, but he's been walked 6 times, folks. Came around to score twice. His on-base percentage is .500. He is 0 for 7 with an on-base percentage of .500. Wrap your brain around that. They just aren't pitching to Mick. Definitely the brave strategy was Mickey Mantle's not going to beat us, and he hasn't, but the rest of the Yankees have gotten the job done. Mick batted .307 on the year with 51 home runs and 146 RBIs. Can Mick get something started here in the second? And that's going to be a ground ball down to McMillan. He throws over to Adcock for out number 1. And that brings up Moose Bill Scourin, batting .214, 3 for 14, but 2 of those 3 hits, folks, have been home runs. He's got 6 RBIs in this World Series. He batted .282 with 42 home runs and 144 RBIs in the regular season. Here's the pitch to the Moose. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. And Adcock's going to take it himself for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for the Yanks. And that brings up everybody's favorite Yogi. He's batting .273 in this World Series. He's 3 for 11 with 2 RBIs. Yogi batted .291 in the regular season, 28 home runs and 77 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this, turns on it. That ball's hit down the line in first. And Lee May gets over there in a hurry, cuts it off. Yogi makes a wide turn, but he'll stay at first with a 2-out single. And that brings up Elston Howard, who is just continuing to hit. Howard had an awesome regular season, and if it's believable, is having an even better World Series. He's batting .364. He's 4 for 11. 2 of those 4 hits has been home runs. He's got 4 RBIs. And like I say, this regular season was awesome. He batted .345, 19 home runs, and 88 RBIs. Can Howard do something with a 2 outs and Yogi down at first? A double probably scores Yogi with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Howard. And that is driven into right field. That will be a base hit. Yogi will get down the third, and the Yankees are making noise here with 2 outs, first and third. And that'll bring up Mr. Boyer. Can he do something here, folks? Get the Yankees on the board early. Boyer's struggling here in the World Series. He's only batting a .182. He's 2 for 11. He does have an RBI. Yeah, I know. You can't stop him, right, Ken? He's just on fire. And you got Boyer here struggling. Like I say, a .182, 2 for 11, an RBI. He batted only .223 in the regular season. He did have 12 home runs and 57 RBIs, though. Can Clint come up with a key 2-out hit and drive Yogi in? And no, that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Frank Boland's going to toss it over to Mac covering second, and the Yankees leave 2 on. We go to the bottom of the second. It's still nothing. We got Aaron Adcock, and instead of Frank Thomas, is going to be Joe Torre. They made the switch and put Joe up in the 6th hole. So Hank's having a nice World Series. He is 4 for 17. He's 5 for 12, batting .417. He's got 2 RBIs. He batted .309 in the regular season with 33 home runs and 124 RBIs. Here's the pitch to the hammer. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Quebec. He fires over the first, and that'll be out number 1. 1 up and 1 down. Brings up Joe Adcock, and Joe is struggling mighty in this World Series. 083, 1 for 12, 1 RBI, and he had a great year. He batted .281 with 39 home runs and 124 RBIs. Here is the pitch to Ford as Aaron Reed joins us here today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Joe Adcock continues to struggle. And that brings up Joe Torre. Maybe we should have moved Joe down the lineup too. Joe's hitting .250, but he could have easily had 2 or 3 more hits in game number 3. He's hitting the ball well. He's 3 for 12 with 1 RBI. Joe hit .251 in the regular season and got hot at the end of the year in September, and it's carried over here to October. 9 home runs and 45 RBIs. And sure enough, he drives that ball in, and Quebec, a dive and stop, gets up, fires over to first, and again, Joe Torre hits the ball well, and another great play robs him of a hit. Joe cannot, in the last 3 or 4 at-bats, buy a hit, but he is hitting the ball well. He's got to keep it up. They got to start finding the hole. And that'll bring up the Yankees now. It's still nothing as we go to the top of the third. You got 4 due up, and then the batting order turns over to Richardson and Quebec at the top. Whitey's got 2 at-bats in this World Series. He's 0 for 2. He batted a .140 in the regular season with 8 RBIs. And that's going to be popped up. Joe Torre throws the mask off, makes the catch for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down here in the third. Back to the top of the order we go. Bobby flew out to Lee May his first time up. Can he finally get on base here for the big boys? Here's the pitch to Bobby. And that is going to be a base hit in the left field. Bobby starting to heat up. The Yankees like that. They need runners in scoring position for the big boys. So Bobby's down at first with 1 out for Tony Quebec. And Tony struck out his first time up. Can Tony keep the merry-go-round going? Here's the pitch to Quebec. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. Eddie Matthews drifts back, ends up on the grass, makes the catch in shallow left for out number 2. Here's Roger Maris. Roger, like I say, having a nice World Series, 308 and 4 for 3 with a homer. And he drive in Bobby, a double with scoring. The pitch to Maris. And that is going to be a That might not be a base hit. That was a nice play down at first by Adcock. He dove, took a base hit away from Maris. He tosses that ball over to Spahn covering, and the Yankees leave Richardson down at first. Nice pitching and great defense here today so far, and it is still scoreless. We got Thomas, McMillan, and Spahn up. Like I say, Frank's struggling here, batting a .67, 2 for 12 with 1 RBI. Batted .267 in the regular season with 29 home runs and 87 RBIs. Let's see if moving him down a spot, if it helps him out. And that is hit to short, and another great play up the middle goes Quebec. Makes a nice play, fires over the first. He has robbed 2 Braves of hits now. Looks like Quebec has came to play in the field today. So 1 down, Roy McMillan, 1 for 11, 091, folks. He was .215 in the regular season, 10 home runs and 58 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one, Mac does. And he drives that ball in the right field. Maris gets to it. And Mac's on with a 1-out single. Talk shit about him, he says. And that'll bring up Warren Spahn with 1 out and a runner down at first. Spahn hit .218 on the season, folks, with 3 home runs. And the Braves need runs. We're not laying down a bunt. He was 0 for 2 in game number 1. We're going to let Spahn swing away. They got to gamble. They can't play conservative. So here's the pitch from Whitey to Spahn. You can't groove it or Whitey will hurt you. Spahn will hurt you. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. Whitey drills Warren. And was that retaliation for hitting Roger? It wasn't supposed to be a wild pitch. Redo that. Is that retaliation for hitting Roger Maris in game number 3, folks? The Braves think so. They are not happy at all. Spahn goes down the first. They're chirping, but nobody wants to get ejected in a must-win game here. So we got first and second, and 1 out for the top of the order. Say the least. That's crazy. I don't know. I think that might be take that, bitches, by Whitey. That brings up Lee May. He's 0 for 1. He popped up the second. Here's the pitch to May. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And that's not going to be deep enough to get Mac over to third. So now there's 2 outs, runners at first and second. Mac at second, Spahn at first. For Frank Boland, he grounded out the shortest first time up. Can he get a key 2-out base hit here and put the Braves in the lead? And that is going to be a ground ball down the third. Boyer's going to fire across the diamond. And the Braves leave 2. And they're still chirping as Spahn crosses in front of Ford and says a few words, and the Yankees and the Braves stop. Nothing happens. The umps get in between them. Like I say, Spahn can't afford to get ejected from this game. They need him out there. We go to the top of the 4th. We got Mantle, Scourin, and Berra. And these Yankees better be watching out. See if Warren responds about being hit. Might be a lot of chin music here. This is back before umpires warned each side, that's for sure. They let boys be boys back then. Mix 0 for 1. He grounded out the shortest first time up. And that ball's hit back to short this time. And again, the same result. Max up with it, fires over to first. Oh, I wish there was that in this, Aaron. I wish there was a bench clearing brawl. But like I say, in this game, I wouldn't think they'd be ready to. Maybe at the end of the game, if the outcome is decided. But you can't afford, if you're a Braves, to have your best players get ejected in this game. So there's 1 out, nobody on for the Moose. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded out the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Mac. And they might want to hit it somewhere else. That's 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Yogi. See if Yogi can get something started here. He singled his last time up. And that ball is high, that ball is far, that ball is going. Yogi Berra with his first home run, second home run of this World Series, folks, gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead in the fourth. And it's power, power, and more power. Oh, is there, Ken? Cool. Ken says there's a homebrew chart for results like that. That is cool. So now the Yankees are up 1-0 with 2 outs and Howard's up. Howard again got on base with a single his first time up. He's now batting .417 in this World Series, folks. No, like I say, if it stays like this, there might be a brawl. That's for sure, Aaron. Howard, like I say, can he keep it up? He's 1 for 1 today. And that's going to be another ground ball to Mac. So Mac makes all 3 assists. But in between there, Yogi didn't give him a chance. Launched one, and the Yankees lead this game 1-0. We go to the bottom of the fourth. You got the big boys due up. Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock. Eddie struck out against Whitey his first time up. Here's the pitch this time. And that one's blasted in the right field, but not quite deep enough. Eddie has just missed these home runs by feet, folks. But that'll be a lead-off double in the right field. Roger throws it in. Matthews down at second with the tying run. And here's the hammer, Hank Aaron, and he's having a damn good World Series. And with Joe Adcock struggling, we're going to walk. I know it's the go-ahead run, but we're going to walk, Aaron. And we're going to set up the double play. We're going to have first and second with nobody out. And Joe Adcock struck out his last time up. He's only 1 for 13. Let's make Joe beat him instead of Aaron. So here's the pitch to Joe Adcock. And that is going to be a tailor-made double play. The plan perfect. Down the Bobby, over to Richardson, over to Moose. 4-6-3 double play. Matthews will make it down the third, but now there's 2 outs with a runner 90 feet away. And it's Joe Torre. So if you're a Braves fan, it's kind of who you want up here. I know he's only batting .231, but he is hitting the ball hard, folks. Every ball off of that bat looks like a base hit. It's taking great defense to get him out. So here's the pitch to Joe. And this time, that's going to be hit in the right field. Roger moves over, makes the catch, and the Braves ruin a nice chance. 2-1, nobody out, and they don't score against the chairman of the board. Remember that inning, folks. The Yankees still lead 1-0. We go to the top of the fifth. Boyer, Ford, and Richardson. And we'll have a look at this Ford and SPAHN matchup real close. Well, Warren retaliate against Whitey. Boyer's up. He's 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Nice play by Aaron. He backs up, makes a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Boyer's out of there. Thought he had a hit. And here comes Whitey. Like I say, he hit SPAHN. He's 0 for 1. He popped up to Joe Torre his first time up. Will SPAHN give him some chin music? And if he did, Ford was up to the task. He drives that ball in the right field, and we don't need no stinking DH. Whitey's on with a 1-out single, folks, to add insult to injury. Whitey gets a hit off of SPAHN. So now with 1 out, Ford at first, Richardson's up. He singled his last time up and flew out to right his other time. Here's the pitch to Bobby. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. He's going to spin around and fire down the second with Mac covering. They'll get the lead runner. And that'll put Bobby down at first. The Yankees probably ain't mad about that. It gets Whitey in the dugout, let him rest instead of running the bases. Get you more speed on the pad. Tony comes up. He's 0 for 2. Tony's struggling. It's only batting a $188. Can he break out of this and do something with Bobby down at first? A double will score Bobby. Tony with the pitch. Can he deliver here? And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And that'll end the inning. So the Yankees strand one. We go to the bottom of the fifth. New York hanging on to a 1-0 lead. Thomas, McMillan, and Spahn do up the bottom part of the order. Frank, 0 for 1 today, grounded out to short. Here's the pitch to Thomas. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Yogi and left. And that'll be out number 1. And that brings up McMillan now. And Mac, he singled his first time up. Can he do it again here? And no, that's going to be an easy ground ball down the Boyer. 2 quick outs. Here comes Spahn. Of course, Spahn got hit his first time up. See what happens here with Whitey. Here's the pitch to Warren. And Warren paying me back, folks. He squares this one up, and we drop the freaking dice. Drop the freaking dice. And Spahn hits that ball in the right field with a double. And he's glaring at Ford down at second. A 2-out double. And again, we say it many times, we don't need no stinking DH. Both pitchers with a hit here today off of each other. The tying run at second for Lee May with 2 outs. He's 0 for 2. He's popped up to second and flew out to right. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Uncle Charlie got him. That's the 3rd strikeout by Whitey. He leaves Spahn down at second. Again, they're chirping at each other as they leave the field. We go to the top of the 6th. We got the M&M boys up. Maris and Mantle fouled by Scouring. Rogers 0 for 2 today. He struck out and grounded out the first. It was a nice play by Joe Adcock to take a base hit away from him. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out to Frank Thomas and left. 1 down. That brings up the Mick. Can he finally get his first base hit of this World Series, folks? Mick is 0 for 9. He's grounded out the short both times up. And not this time. That ball's lifted in the center field. Aaron's out there. He's got the range. Makes the catch. And that is out number 2. As Legend Sports Universe joins us for this game. Here comes the Moose. He's 0 for 2. Grounded out the first and grounded out the short. 2 outs and nobody on for him. And that's going to be base hit. He takes it the other way in the right field for a 2-out single. So the Moose is aboard for Yogi. Yogi's already homered in this game to give the Yankees the 1-0 lead they got. He's 2 for 2, singled and a homer. Can he keep up this perfect game here? And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. The Yankees strand the Moose. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We got the big boys due up. We got Bolin, then followed by the big boys, Matthews and Aaron. Frank's 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out the short and grounded out the third. Here's the pitch to Frank. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. And he drives that ball into right field. It's high. It's far. It is going. Frank Bolin with a home run here, folks. Ties this game up at 1 apiece. Whitey can't believe it. And that brings up Matthews now with nobody on and no outs. And this game's tied up. And Eddie keeps on hitting. He's 1 for 2. He struck out and doubled his last time up. And that's going to be popped up to Howard behind home plate. He makes the catch for out number 1. And here comes Hammer and Hank. And he is 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded out the third, short rather. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Mick. He takes a few steps back, makes the catch short of the track for out number 2. And here comes the struggling Joe Adcock. They walked, you remember, they walked Aaron his last time up And then Joe grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to make 2 outs. The Braves had 2 on and nobody out and didn't score. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's a lazy fly ball in the center field. And that'll end the inning. But Frank Boland ties this game up at 1 apiece, folks. We go to the top of the 7th. We got Howard, Boyer, and Ford due up. Howard 1 for 3, 1 for 2, grounded out the short his other time up. Here's the pitch to Elston. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Adcock makes a nice play over to SPAHN covering for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down. Brings up Boyer now. He's 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice and flew out to Aaron. And that's going to be popped up. Torrey near the dugout makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down. And here's Whitey. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Popped up to the catcher his other time. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frank Boland. He'll throw over to Joe. And the Yankees go down 1, 2, 3. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Torrey, Thomas, and McMillan, the bottom part of the order, due up against Whitey. Joe's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to short. Got robbed of a hit that time and hit a lazy fly ball out to Roger. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out to center. Mick's got it for out number 1. And to Frank Thomas we go. Can Frank finally do something here? He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to short and flew out the left. And nope, that's going to be an easy ground ball to Quebec. He fires over to Skowern. 2 up and 2 down. It's up to McMillan to keep this inning alive. He is 1 for 2. He singled and grounded out the third. And that is going to be a pop-up down the third base. Nice play by Boyer and fair territory out in the grass. He makes the catch. And 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. We go to the top of the 8th. This will be SPAHN's last inning. He's due up lead off in the 8th. He'll be facing Richardson, Quebec, and Maris. Can he keep this game tied and give his Braves a chance to win this game for him? Bobby's 1 for 3. He's flown out the right and reached on a fielder's choice his other time up. And Bobby set the table here in the 8th inning. Here's the pitch to him. And he sure does. He goes the other way with this. Lines out in the right field for a leadoff single. Bobby Richardson down at first. Do the Yankees try to bunt him down the second? That is the question, and getting him in scoring position. Quebec's struggling. He's 0 for 3. He struck out today. He's popped up and grounded out the third. He's only 3 for 17 in this series. I think they are going to give him the bunt sign. So here's the play. And that's going to be he pops that ball up. Nice play by SPAHN. And they're going to double off. Who does he throw it to? And they're going to double up Richardson at first. Nice play by the Braves. Is that something yet to come here? So now nobody on. 2 outs for Roger Maris. He's 0 for 3. He struck out. He's grounded out the first and he's flown out the left. Here's the pitch to Roger. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Adcock's got it. And the Yankees go down 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We'll have a pitch hitter for SPAHN. May and Boland due up. So SPAHN does his job. 7 hits and 1 run through 7. Can the Braves get something started here against Whitey? See who's going to come off the bench here. And the cat, Felix Montiel, is going to come off the bench and try to get on here in the 8th inning against Whitey. So I take a drink. Felix is 0 for 1 in this World Series. He batted a .190 in the regular season with 14 RBIs. Can he get aboard and get something started here in the 8th? Here's the pitch to the cat. And that's going to be an easy ground ball down the second. Bobby's got it. He'll fire over to first for out number 1. And the lineup turns over, and we're back to the top with Lee May. He's 0 for 3. He's popped up, blown out, and struck out. And that's going to be another fly ball. This time it's the center field, and Mick's got it. 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th. And here comes Frank Boland. He's having a good game. Obviously, he scored the only run with that solo homer his last time up. Can he do it again and give the Braves the lead, folks? And that's going to be a pop-up in the left field. Boyer goes out, makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. We go to the top of the 9th. We are tied at 1-1. I didn't think this game could get any better than game number 3, but it is. You got the big boys, Mantle, Skowron, and Barra due up. And do they bring in Don now? I think they do. I don't think you mess around. McMahon's got to come in here. He's got to come in and shut the door. You can't let him score here. You got to bring your best pitcher in. SPAHN did his job. So McMahon's going to come in, try to keep this game tied up. He struggled in game number 3, but he's the man out of the bullpen. You got to trust him. So Don McMahon's coming in to face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, folks. Game on the line, 1-1. The Mick is overdue. He's 0 for 10, folks. But one swing of the bat would make Yankees fans forget everything. And Mick could be a hero. Here is the pitch to the mighty Mick. Like I say, this is Don's second game. He's got a 16.2 ERA in the World Series. He's pitched 1 2/3 innings. He struck out 1, walked 2, and gave up 3 runs. During the regular season, he came into 52 games. He had an ERA of 2.19. He was 1 5 with 39 saves, but we know Don can walk himself into some trouble. Here's the pitch to the Mick. And that's going to be a base on balls. Here we go. Don walks the Mick. The Mick with his 7th walk of the World Series, folks. The 7th walk of the World Series. Mick down at first. Nobody out. Winning run or go ahead run at first. Skowron up. 1 for 3 today. Grounded out the first, grounded out the short, and singled his last time up. Yeah, exactly. Legends. Mick 0 for 10, and the Yankees up 3 games to none. But like I say, he's walked 6 times coming into this game, now 7. He had an on-base percentage of .500 coming into the game. Crazy. Here's the Moose. Can he deliver a double? Scores Mick with his speed. Here's the pitch from Don. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. That'll be out number 1. Here's Yogi. He's got the only run on the board for the Yankees. He is 2 for 3 today with that home run. He singled, homered, and struck out his last time up. Can Yogi put the Yankees on his back and drive in the other run? No, that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. No matter of fact, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes out for the 2nd time. Sorry about that. So Yogi goes down on strikes. And if you're a Yankee fan, this is the man you want up. He's batting .357 in this World Series, 5 for 14, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. He's 1 for 3 today. Ken Howard, come through, win this game, and definitely be the MVP of this World Series. And no, that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Don walks Mick, but he stays at first. We go to the bottom of the ninth, 1-1. And Whitey's coming out for the ninth inning. He's due up second. He'll face the big boys, Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock. Can he keep this game tied and give the Yankees a chance to win it in the 10th and give Whitey his second win of this World Series? Matthews is 1 for 3 with a double against him. He struck out and popped up to the catcher his other 2 times. Yes, there is, Doug. Yes, there is. Here's the pitch from Whitey. And he walks Matthews. The winning run down at first. And here comes Hank. Then Aaron. A double will score Matthews and win this game. He's over 2. He was walked intentionally. He's grounded out the short and flew out the mick. And that's going to be another base on balls. And Whitey has walked himself into a damn mess here, folks. The winning run down at second. I know Joe Adcock is struggling. He was in a similar situation in the 4th and hit into a double play. He struck out and flown out to center his other 2 times up. Not this time. That ball is deep. That ball is far. That ball is off the wall. And that's going to be an RBI single. It would have probably been a double, but he stops at first. And that is going to score Matthews from second. And the Braves walk it off in the bottom of the 9th, folks. Win this game 2-1. There will be a game number 5. Whitey Ford doesn't get an out in the 9th. And the Braves win 2-1. What a great game. Let's take a look at this box score. The Yankees had their opportunities. The Yankees out-hit the Braves 7-5, but where it counts, the Braves win. Yankees only 1 run on 7 hits and no errors. The Braves 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Yankees were 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position, just didn't have many opportunities. They left 6 men on base. Bobby Richardson and Yogi Berra had good games. They was 2 for 4 each of them. Like I say, Yogi with the solo home run. But the Yankees come up short. And Matthews and Aaron did their jobs with walking. Matthews 1 for 3. Came around to score the winning run. Whitey did the job except in the 9th inning. The Braves were 1 for 6. The only time they got a hit with runners in scoring position was in the bottom of the 9th to drive in the winning run. They only left 4 men on base. Poor Whitey pitched 8+ innings, goes to 1-1 in this World Series, gives up 5 hits only, 2 runs, walk 3. The 3 walks came back to bite him in the ass because both of those runs was scored on walks. If you remember, folks, we'll look at the scorecard. Struck out 3 and gave up 1 home run. SPAHN, 8 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, struck out 3 and gave up the home run to Yogi. Gets a no decision. Don comes in, pitches 1 inning, gets the win. Struck out 2, walked 1. And there's the big walk that came around the score in the 9th. Off the single. So we will go to game number 5. It'll be a rematch of game number 2. We'll have Ralph Terry going up against Lou Burdett. Can the Braves come back and win this series after being down 3-0? Like I say, it's all up to Lou now and Ralph Terry. What time is it? Yeah, it was a great game. Oh, thank you, Beatles. I appreciate it, bud. Yes. Yeah. Oh, BG staying alive. That's for sure. So, like I say, we will have game number 5 on October 9th. Don't mind what that says. It's not going to be Coates and it's not going to be Willie. It's going to be Burdette against Ralph Terry. So until next time, I want to thank Aaron Reed, Let's Sports Universe. Check out that channel. Check out Aaron's channel. Beatles. Mike was in the house. Check out Mike's channel. I want to thank Doug Hunt and Carlos. D. Scott Howard was here. Ken Castro, Jamie. I don't think I missed anybody. Ken Castro was first in the house. Oh, you're welcome. All righty. We'll be back here in a little bit with game number 5, folks. See if the Yankees can wrap this up, or are we heading back to New York? Until then, you have a great afternoon and take care.